Hello and welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. I will be working on this diamond art. It's a little tiny, but it's okay. It's still cute. Do you ever just watch ghost videos for no reason? There are some comedy ghost shows though, and they're pretty funny. Making fun of the paranormal is kind of funny though. I remember I made fun of Final Destination and how they treated death. And I'm just like, why would he be so elaborate? He can just make people have heart attacks. But I thought about it a bit more and was like, he's probably trying to get them to die in a very similar way to how they originally were going to die. But I could be wrong. I might have to rewatch Final Destination movies and see if everyone dies the exact same way they were originally going to. Except the last one. The last one isn't a great representation of Final Destination. Maybe how to survive it, but not the premise itself. Something I will say is I have seen spirits before, but I'm not exactly a believer in spirits. Because what if it's just a shadow and my mind is just making shit up because I'm depressed? Because a symptom of depression is actually you can see faces in things that don't have faces. So but something I will state is some days I move nothing in my room at all. Everything is in the exact same position that it always is in. And the shadow on my ceiling changes shapes. Is the light outside changing? I don't know. Oh, that was a big yawn. I'm just gonna like go in order of whatever I see at the bottom to hopefully fill it in a little bit faster. I did recently make tacos. I like tacos. I also made manwich one day. You gotta love some good old-fashioned sloppy joes. I always like using less burger for the ingredient list though, because I like them when they're a little extra saucy. Something I really don't fully believe in is like ghost equipment, because you can make sentences out of nothing. Oh, there's just like a dead man's hand trying to grab her. I also don't understand why there's wings right here, but her body's facing this way evenly. Like, I understand they wanted both the wings, but they should have changed the perspective of the woman if they wanted them to be her wings. So I think she's deciding between heaven and hell. My brother ended up not being calling our dad to find out why his insurance card wasn't working. And he ended up missing his dentist appointment because of it, which means I didn't have to take out of work. I could have just gone. I did make my brother buy breakfast, though. But since my brother's been really on my sister-in-law's back about money and stuff, me yelling at my brother to make sure we get breakfast, like a proper one, is kind of funny. I mean, I got the blueberry pancakes I wanted, so I'm happy. But I'm also gonna throw my brother under the bus for having double standards. Something I will always know is that if you talk about anything like dark or with like a dark energy, and well, it usually brings on bad energy. The best thing to do is think about positive things, positive energy, and it brings on a better light. It makes everywhere around you more positive and happier. Something I would love to do though one day is like a ghost investigation, but I also know that that's not my channel's purpose. So I wouldn't really film it on YouTube. I'd probably post it somewhere like TikTok or Facebook. Because for a very long while, I would keep only my cosplay on YouTube and I'd post my art on TikTok. Because my art would only get views on TikTok and not really that many on YouTube. But my cosplays would get plenty of views on YouTube, but not on TikTok. Something I know about my channel is I did start it originally just to share my art, and I do like getting views and stuff because it gives me a little bit of dopamine when people like my art. Or they like my vibe. Or they think I'd be fun to just watch. Which is ironic because in person, if you stare at me, I will get really creeped out. Like, watch me online, but in person, ugh. If I'm in person, I'd rather a person just talk to me. One of my coworkers recently found my social media, though, and was like, so why do you, like, not talk to me? And with my honesty, I was just trying to be polite, but also, um, honest is I don't talk to you because I don't need to. I'm not required to give anyone my attention, coworker or not. And also, I find you a bit creepy. I mean, I'm not required to just like a random person on the internet. Hmm. Do you ever just sing like off-brand Christmas music? Just whispering to yourself? And what I mean by off-brand is light a match and start a fire. Set the Christmas tree on fire. That's what I mean by off-brand Christmas music. It's got the tune, but it's darker. I don't think I'm gonna get this done that quickly. There was a point in time where I was just researching medieval torture devices for no reason other than I was curious what they looked like. Because, like, murder and stuff back then was kind of common and not as frowned upon as it is in the modern time. We still can justify murder in the modern times, though. I'm just really exhausted, and I don't know why, because I'm not feeling fully tired, but I just don't think I drank enough liquids, and I'm warm. So I'm gonna turn my AC on the lowest setting, so it's not too noisy in the background. But hopefully that solves my issue, because I know it doesn't really appear on camera as much as I thought it would. For some reason, I think when I have my AC on, my sound gets more quiet. So maybe it's not picking up as much white noise. I want to go up. Yawns. Am I right? Something hilarious is so my sill kept calling my brother a fag, which is a slur. Yeah, I will acknowledge that, but I can't stop her because she'd hit me, and I fear her more than I fear the internet being afraid of slurs. Um, and my brother's retort was, maybe it would be better. Like, wait a minute. Hold up. Do you really not want a man? I meant not want a woman, but want a man instead. Because wanting a man doesn't necessarily mean you want a bottom. But my brother does get along with more masculine people in the first place, and it would explain why he went with her in the first place, because she's not that feminine. She's much more on the masculine side of things. Actually, all of the women he's dated are on the more masculine side of things. So he might not be straight. That is the vibe we're getting from this. So a lot of the men I have met um that flirted with me also didn't mind the idea of something being in their ass. So maybe I'm just surrounded by a lot of very specific kinds of men. But it would explain why my brother's so interested in Andrew Tate videos. Because anyone who's interested in Andrew Tate is definitely gay. Like, toxic gay, but still definitely not straight. Because, I mean, straight people are not afraid of being straight, but gay people are definitely afraid of being gay. Like I might not like dick, but someone else in this house had to be. A mouth pot will try. Ah. A fun fact though is blue blue raspberry and cinnamon gum taste like beer. So I would state don't mix blue raspberry and cinnamon. It will taste like a shitty beer. I mean, do it if you want a non-alcoholic version of beer, but definitely don't do it if you want alcohol to taste good. Because I know there's blue raspberry flavor in syrup, and there is cinnamon alcohols. Don't mix them together. They're lovely separate. I'm just drinking flavored water and talking about chewing gum. But I did work in a bar once. I was technically not a bartender, but I did know how to make the drinks. I was a bar back. But I did do some bartender things. I did bring out like soft drinks and I brought food to the tables because that was my job when I was waiting for delivery orders. It's like a brownish color. You getting in some other shades here. Look at that. I approve. Separately, it looks very brown, like on the green, but when I put it near the grays, it kind of blends in. Um, I love color theory. I remember I spent like an hour editing one of my friend's art. Um, she was like talking about how I kind of wish I could fix the lines, but I can't. And I was just like, I have Procreate. I can do that. So I just took out my tablet and started like finger painting the drawing with my tablet and slowly correcting some of the lines and smoothing edges out. Um, I also made the ear pink because apparently when she scanned it and stuff, her digital copy wasn't as nice as she wanted it to be. I also removed all of the overlapping white over the black lines and refixed her line art to make it a bit more cohesive and symmetrical. I also fixed parts where the piece didn't quite line up right, which isn't really her fault. I mean, connecting pieces on an art piece is extremely difficult. And I mean, one of my favorite ways to do that is with the base sketch. I will draw things as multiple layers and slowly erase the underneath layer as I'm adding more. That's how you make things line up more properly. And some of the whiskers looked very lumpy, so I kind of tried to fix that a bit. I didn't successfully do much for that, though. It's hard to make a lumpy line straight. I didn't do it because the art was bad. I did it because that's kind of just what I would have done if I was the original artist. If the lumpy art lines are meant to be there, then it makes sense. But I don't actually know or remember how the original art was supposed to look like. So I just drew it how I would have drawn a dragon. Artistic choices. That's what I'll call that. Some of it was just some light touch ups, though, making colors more vibrant. I forgot how to do like a dropper tool though in Procreate, so once I figure out how to do that again, I can make the line art darker to begin with. And also, I'd probably do it with multiple layers because I didn't. I will state I could do that with literally anyone's drawing and fix the proportions. It's not necessarily because the proportions were originally bad. It's more if they were an artistic choice that I would have not made. Though I've also drawn like shapes and line art to help people with proportion. And yet again, I will say it's not because it was wrong. It's because they wanted it to look a specific way that they couldn't get it to begin with. And that's not their fault. We are only human. Even I fuck up proportions. It's mainly because I don't always pay attention to what I'm doing and I kind of just draw pieces of the art without trying to figure out where it would be proportionally to whatever I'm drawing. That's just a lack of paying attention, though. To be honest, I technically could bring any of their art into Procreate and do the same thing. I'm gonna start asking if any of them want that. I'm not gonna do it without ask. Because the one of my moderators, Jenna, she specifically stated, "Man, I wish I could fix this," and so I did it for her. I mean, she kind of asked in her like meh way, you know? It's like when you ask for something but without truly asking for it. That was a thing I had to figure out how to do because some people they don't ask for things when they want things. And I do not understand those people at all. If I want something, I'm gonna ask for it, even if it's rude. I also sharpened up some of the like edges of the lines. To be fair, the original art style was a lot softer and did not have any sharp edges, so the way she drew it was better. But I prefer sharper edges, so I did my own personal touch to it. I don't remember much of it, but I remember enough details. I remember what I paid attention to, which was not much. She did show the reference. I could find it and probably do a little bit better at editing the photo properly. Something I wish I did for like the raffle that I did at the last event that I've been at and sold jewelry at is I wish that I asked for a photo with the winners so that that would have been in my post on Facebook. But since I am a very big believer in privacy, I didn't post any faces or pictures with the winners. But I did want to tag them, but most of them didn't really have the same. One of them was at a party in my basement. They were hanging out with my dad. One of the winners from the raffle was literally friends with my dad. I will state if I ever do one of those like vendor events ever again, I will post about it and all that. But I kind of hope that the next event that I can be a part of would be at a con, but I would have to triple my prices, unfortunately. Maybe only double. I don't think I could bring myself to tripling any of my prices. I hate charging people more than what I already do because I already feel like I'm overcharging people, but I need it to pay for the table as well as the jewelry itself. The only reason my jewelry is so cheap is because people buy it directly from me. they come to see me directly for the custom pieces, or I mail it to them and they pay for shipping. Which means the price is still lower than the average person. And it's because I don't go through a third party system and stuff, and people just buy it directly from me. Um, is it the most sketchy way to sell jewelry? Yes. But are all of my customers happy and have posted about the jewelry that they bought from me? Yes. And do they wear it in multiple photos online? Also, yes, because I am following a few of the people that bought jewelry from me. Mainly because I mainly followed them because they were also local artists that support local artists. Um, I would follow more artists like that if I knew them. Um, actually sold a ring and they decided to paint. My camera glitched out and I kind of just walked away for a bit to just deal with that emotionally. The amount of anger I feel every single time my camera says, I'm not working. I'm not working. I get annoyed. Refresh. No. I don't wanna. I don't wanna. Anyway, I hope you understand the feeling of just being annoyed. Anyway, I'll end this here. So peace, love, have a good day, my fab fans, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.